Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Bold Predictions Podcast. We are your three hosts. My name is AJ,
I am Richie.
And I'm Dan.
and we are coming at you on a lovely Saturday. Well, very rainy looking, gloomy looking Saturday, but it's a Saturday, and we're here and bringing you another lovely episode. Um, so we were going to have a very incredible episode for everyone, but we have some setbacks this week. Yeah, we were gonna have an old friend coming back, but he's not feeling as well, so we'll save that for next week. We are gonna have some brand new segments, but we don't have a lot of time for that, so we're just keeping it nice and simple this week, and hopefully next week we'll make it more exciting, right, guys?
Yep.
Of course.
All right. Now, before we get started, we just like to do our little thank you to our friend Andrew, who is graciously putting the time in to make our beautiful thumbnails. So, thank you very much. Make sure to check out his link in the description for his channel. And, all right. You guys ready?
Sure.
Let's do it.
So, we are going to start out with, we're now going into the final quarter of the NFL season. We are going to start off with I think we said awards first or playoff predictions first? Awards? All right. So we're going to start off with the awards for the end of the season. We're then going to move into our playoff predictions, and then we'll move into our week 14. Yeah, 14 predictions. All right. I will be starting us off with the comeback player, or I already forgot what we said. Sorry, guys.
Coach of the year.
All right, coach of the year. So I'm going to be starting off with the coach of the year, and I think I definitely changed it from the last time. And my coach is someone that has been putting together his team quite nicely. They are currently have the same record as the Green Bay Packers. You know them, you don't love them. They're the Cleveland Browns head coach, Kevin Stefanski. I'm very shocked with how he has put this team together, considering last year was supposed to be the team that dominated the AFC, but that's not what it turned out to be. And now this year, they do look pretty dominant. They have been playing well. I mean, Baker Mayfield has been slacking kind of in certain games. He has amazing performances, then slacking performances. But with the run game and with their defense playing pretty well, Kevin Stefanski has put a solid squad out in that field, and they look to be very good contenders in the playoffs, I think.
It's pretty good. Yeah, especially last week. Last week was a staple win. They showed something last week, so good for them. Dan, you can go next.
All right. So my coach of the year is not going to change. I think Sean McDermott, after destroying the Niners last week, has really brought this team back around. I know, but when I said this the last time, they had just come off, I think it was a loss to the Chiefs or the game after that, where they were kind of going downhill at a midpoint in the season, but they completely turned it around now. I believe they're 9-3 again. So they're doing really well, and they play the Steelers this week. I think if they can beat the Steelers this week, which they're actually favored by a point, I think he's in a really good position to make a comeback at this. I know his odds for this aren't great. When I was looking, it's mostly like Mike Tomlin, still Flores and stuff, but I think if he can beat Mike Tomlin, that would look amazing for his resume.
Oh, definitely. I actually think personally that Tomlin's completely out because they seem to have stopped even trying to run the ball. So, in my opinion, that's not good coaching. I think you need to take some away from Big Ben. I'm between a few coaches right now, but I think I'm going to stay with Flores just because of the way he has the Dolphins set up, in the sense that all three phases of the game are contributing, and it doesn't really matter what quarterback's in because they're still most likely going to win. I was going to say Stefanski, so I agree with AJ there, 100%. But I think the Dolphins were worse before Flores than the Browns were before Stefanski, because I'm pretty sure that the Browns were like 6-10, 7-9, somewhere around there last year, which isn't great, obviously, but it wasn't horrible. And Dolphins would be like a bottom-feeding team if it wasn't for good coaching. So I'm going to stick with Brian Flores. But if the New York Giants and Daniel Jones can make a run. I think if they can make a run, if they can go 4-0 this last stretch, I don't know, man. Look out for Joe Judge.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, but we have to have finally a hype man for his own team, and it's finally clicking. I wish we had our other guy here because he's the hypest of hype mans for his own team, even after getting squashed. Probably, he still roots for them. But you know what, Richie, I give you props that you give your coach props now. So, um. So one more thing before we can move on. I think to add on a little bit extra to each thing, I think we should talk a little bit about everyone's prediction if we all have different predictions. So say for the comeback player, if we all have the same prediction, which is very likely for the comeback player, then we all just add in a little bit. But say I pick one person, then we can all just talk about that one person for a little and then move on to the next one, if that works for you guys.
Let's do it.
All right. So, moving on to the comeback player of the year. Mine has not changed for this one. I can't wait to hear what Dan says for this one because I'm very curious. But
Tell me you guys picked a loser.
I mean, after this week, he's a pretty big winner.
Yeah.
And that is Alex Smith. He has dethroned the last undefeated team, the Steelers, and he had a pretty good performance in that game, and he's finally turning it on. So I'm very excited to see him moving forward this season. Hopefully, he can get another win or two. But I am rooting for the Giants to win that division. But maybe Alex Smith can turn it on more and secure the comeback of the year.
Yeah. So. In the last prediction we did, I had Big Ben as my comeback player of the year. And then Alex Smith must have listened to this podcast and said, fuck that, I'm going to go beat that guy. Because this kid Dan called me a loser and he called Ben a winner. So I have to respect it. I gotta respect it. I gotta say he earned it, and he's my comeback player of the year now, Alex Smith is.
Nice.
Well, it's a clean sweep of Alex Smith. Just the fact that he was even able to play football again is crazy. But pretty much what everyone else said. He's the man. I hope he doesn't do too well, but he's the man. So.
Well, now we just don't have to go off his sob story anymore. He's actually a winner, Dan.
Yep.
All right. Since we are all in the same boat for that one, we'll move on quickly. So, next up, we have the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, I think I got to go with a pretty obvious one again. I mean, last time we did this, I had a different option because I had no idea who I was going to pick. But same team as Alex Smith, I got to go with Chase Young. He has, ever since we did it the last award session, he's been clicking now. He has been a dominant force for that defense. That defense has turned it on completely now. They look like a very strong, maybe even a top 5 team or defense-wise. But Chase Young has been a dominant and terrifying threat to any quarterback, running back. It doesn't matter. They just is a dominant player. So I think he'll definitely win the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with who I had, actually. I had Jeremy Chin last time. I didn't honestly know too much about him back then, but I've been paying a little bit more attention out of the Panthers secondary. And he, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, had 2 back-to-back defensive touchdowns on fumbles in 2 consecutive plays. I don't think that's ever been done before. So I'm definitely going to stick with him. I think he's made a good case for himself. I know the rest of the Panthers D, without Luke Kuechly and whatnot, hasn't been great, but I think he's been the lone bright spot. Whereas people like Chase Edmonds or Chase Young have a pretty solid defense around him. I think this guy's kind of doing it all on his own, so I'm gonna go with him still.
Yeah, it's very solid. I think the one problem for Chin will be that in terms of what
recognition.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Because because as far as like picks go, Young was the second pick. He was well
Yeah.
known in college, like he was slam dunk, and that's actually why I'm also going to pick him, just because of recognition. People know who he is, and the fact that Washington is actually competitive now, but Carolina's kind of out of it. So
I should probably ask this before. Are we predicting the winner, or are we saying who our is? Like our winner is?
just whatever. Like,
Yeah, just whatever.
who's your winner? Who's your winner?
Okay, yeah, Chin then. But if we're saying who's gonna win, yeah, it's Young.
Well, I mean, I will say I'd never heard of this Jeremy Chin guy or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Until he did the back-to-back touchdown. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, NFL is weird this year, especially after the draft, where we thought some teams were getting this guy while other teams got this guy. And
Maybe he gets 2 more fumble recoveries for touchdowns, and then we can't deny it anymore.
yeah, maybe he'll do that against the Saints when Taysom Hill drops the ball 3 times. We can only hope. I as a Packers fan, I can only hope because I want Carolina to win that game.
Yep.
But all right. So moving on, we got offensive rookie of the year, and I'm going to be honest. I was between 2 guys here, and I told Richie because we were talking about this a little while ago. But for offensive rookie of the year, I couldn't decide. So I'm gonna say 2 options for this one. So my first option, which is probably the more questionable one, I have James Robinson. He has been a very dominant rookie running back, and for a team like the Jaguars, they need something to spark that team. And James Robinson, especially after Leonard Fournette wasn't on the team anymore, James Robinson stepped into a role and he powered through that role very well. He took over and he dominated that run game. I think he's like he could be a top 3 running back with yards wise, I believe. And he has just not slowed down. Even against strong defenses, he has been a dominant running back. And I can't wait to see what he does in the future. But the more obvious choice that I have is Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. I wish he sucked more, but I really am a fan of him. He has just been a dominant force as well in the wide receiver game alongside Adam Thielen. And I honestly thought Adam Thielen was just going to be a dominant, or I keep saying dominant a lot, I'm sorry, but Adam Thielen is a strong receiver for that team. And Justin Jefferson, he's putting up a lot to be that second guy. He could be right there with Adam Thielen eventually. But, yeah, I can definitely see him being a powerhouse in the future for sure. So those are my 2 guys.
My dad just hopped on the treadmill. I really hope you guys can't hear that. Can you?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, good. So yeah, I like the James Robinson call. I don't think he'll win it just because he's on the fucking Jags. They won win, but I really like him. He did really well for what he was dealt. I love Justin Jefferson, man. Just seeing what he can do. He's already over 1,000 yards. Even though he didn't start the first 3 games, which is just insane to think about. He's on pace for like 1,400 yards for missing 3 games. That is just incredible. I had Justin Herbert last time, but he's kind of not falling off, but he's slowed down for sure. He's played some tougher teams, and Anthony Lynn is just still being a retard. So it's tough. I think if Justin Jefferson can get 1,400 yards or even 1,300 yards by the end of the season as a rookie, not starting 3 games, that is fucking insane. So I'm gonna have to go with him. I think he's just been like competing with Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen for touches and still getting that many yards. That's just insane to me. Just watching him, he's already a top probably 10 route runner in the league. He's just so raw. So I'm gonna go with him.
Another clean sweep for this one. AG picked 2, but yeah, it's Jefferson. Like everything you guys have said, I think he reminds me of an Odell right when he came out. Great route runner. He just needs to have the catch happen to him, just his version of it, so he can break out. And then people think he's overrated after that. So
He's like my favorite type of receiver in the way he just runs his routes and stuff. Like, I don't like I mean, the high point guys are cool, like Kenny Galladay and whatnot, but like the guys who are just like wide open, which is like, it's unique.
Yeah. So clean sweep all aboard, like Richie said. That's pretty good. That's you already know when there's a clean sweep with all of us, he's most likely gonna win it.
No.
But
No.
moving on, I don't think I've had anyone repeat besides Alex Smith, and we're continuing with that trend with the defensive player of the year. And my choice is going to be Aaron Donald. He is, well, especially last week. I think that kind of swayed me against New England. He played really well against in that game, and I mean that defense is just scary. I personally think they're the best defense in the league right now, and hopefully that'll keep up because I would love to see the Rams win that division. And Aaron Donald is just insane. Every year he's just insane, which could be a problem when trying to win an award because of consistency. But he's just insane, and I really think he can win this award for sure.
So I'm sad, AJ. I can't believe you didn't stick with TJ Watt here, the deserved defensive MVP. I know they lost one game, and I know everyone's already hating the Steelers. They've been hating him all season, but this guy has. I saw on Instagram last week, but this is before last game happened. But it's definitely hasn't changed by that much because I watched him get all over Alex Smith. He was up. I think it was like close to 12-ish QB hits above the next closest guy. That's just ridiculous to me. He was at like 40 something, and I think Aaron Donald was at like 28. A couple guys are around 30. And he has the most sacks as well. I don't see how it's not TJ Watt. His pressure rate's the highest as well. He's just been an absolute beast. Every time you watch him, he's always getting like about 3 to 4 hits a game. He's just the best in my opinion.
Yep. Dan actually has swayed me to pick TJ Watt for the defensive player of the year. I have the stats right here, so not including yesterday's game. Watt is the leader in sacks with 12 in the league. He is the leader in tackles for loss with 21. Next closest is 15. He's the leader in QB pressures with 49. Next closest is 37. He's the leader in QB hits with 37. Next closest is 24. I believe he has at least one interception on the season as well. So, I mean, he could do it all. He's playing out of his mind. Not to discredit Donald, because Donald's also a monster, but TJ Watt is just playing. I don't know. He's playing like people expected Chase Young to play right out of the gate, just like unstoppable force. But I will also pick TJ Watt.
Isn't that insane? Like 12 more pressures and hits than the next guy. Like that's.
Yeah, and it's not even like the same person. It's not like it's Donald. It's not like Joey Bosa was there. I think he had tackle for loss. It's Roquan Smith. So it's not like there's like a second place guy either. They're all like scattered. So
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally just a fan of Aaron Donald, but I might have gotten turned off by the fact that Washington beat this team. I mean, granted, I wasn't a fan of the Steelers all season because they haven't really played a quality opponent, really. And I mean, their defense it's real. I will say it's real, but I don't know. The Steelers just turned me off, especially after that loss. So I've just completely swayed away from all Steelers picks.
We'll see what happens because they're gonna play Colts, Bills, and a good Browns team down the stretch. So we'll see what happens.
They're about to lose all of those. All right. But moving on. Next up, finally gonna be consistent for once, I will say, with our offensive player of the year. And I'm going to be consistent because he's my guy, and that is Davante Adams. He's been dominant in the receiving game. The only other person is Tyreek Hill, but like everyone on that team has over 1,000 receiving yards at this point. Even Patrick Mahomes, because he passes them to himself at this point. But Davante Adams, he's like the only receiver on the Green Bay Packers, and he has been dominant. He's double covered, and he's still dominant. It's ridiculous. This man just gets open, too. There's no other pick for this one, honestly, in my opinion. But if you guys have someone else, I would love to hear it.
No, yeah, we were talking the other night about who's the best receiver in the league. There is no debate currently. For this year, it is Davante Adams. He's the only one in the league who can do every facet of the game. Like Julio Jones cannot score touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins is not a route runner. You know, he's just a guy who high points it. I just think Davante is the best receiver by far in the league. The Eagles game, he mossed Darius Slay on the first touchdown, and the second touchdown he just stiff arms through his face, and it was kind of a face mask, but it was a big boy play. That was one of those touchdowns you don't really think of Devontae Adams. You think of like a Julio or a D Hop of a real muscle play like that, but he's a beast, dude. He is a absolute beast, and he's on pace for the best numbers at any receiver by far, while missing 3.5 games. It's just there's I mean, maybe Dalvin Cook is up for this, but I think Devontae's just been much better.
So, you guys aren't going to like this because I think it's 50-50 right now between Rodgers and Adams.
All right, you know what?
Whoa! I just got eye rolls from both of you. What do you mean? I'm only saying this because it can go to a quarterback.
Yeah, it probably will go to quarterback.
And I think it will be probably Rodgers that it goes to, or Mahomes, depending on which one doesn't win MVP. Which could kill Adams, but my pick is Adams. I want Adams to win because he, as you guys said, has been dominant. And from two Packer fans who watch the games, you're getting firsthand looks at how great he is. So I'll take your word for it. But I think it could also go to Rodgers as well because his stats are unbelievable. He's playing out of his mind. But I hope it is Devontae.
All right. And moving into our final award, we have the MVP. And Rodgers is not going to win Offensive Player because he's going to win MVP. Mahomes, I think it's going to be the same problem with Aaron Donald in the fact that Mahomes is just insanely consistent, even though he's only played for a couple years. I think Aaron Rodgers, after last year and the year before that, he had a major spike in all of his stats. I wish I had them written down, but I wasn't prepared because, that's me. But I think Aaron Rodgers is a clear option here. As long as he keeps playing like this for the rest of the actual season, I think he can definitely take the top spot for the MVP award because Russ dropped off.
Yeah, it's definitely between the two. I believe Rodgers has 4 more touchdowns. Mahomes has, I think it's about 300 more yards and 2 less interceptions. But for passer rating, Rodgers is a little ahead. And I saw in Pro Football Focus their highest graded quarterback is Rodgers by I think he's 94 point something. Mahomes 93, so he is the top dog. I will also be going with Rodgers, kind of for the same thing. People get a little bored of consistency, I guess. Mahomes has definitely been a beast, but people like to see I say the new guy, Rodgers is new here, but he did have those 2 down years in a row for his standards. So I'm gonna say Rodgers as well. He's been playing out of his mind. The rest of his season is really easy. He has he has Detroit coming up. That's cakewalk. They're missing their top 2 corners. Then Panthers, that's easy. Titans, terrible defense as we saw Baker lit them up. And then Chicago to finish it off, who we just dropped 4 TDs on, who we thought was a great defense. So yeah, I think Mahomes has a decently easy schedule too, but I think Rodgers will finish it stronger.
Ooh. You got me thinking now. I didn't even think about schedules because I originally picked Mahomes, but I think it's by a hair. But Mahomes plays the Dolphins and the Saints in back-to-back weeks, which maybe he'll have an easy time with the Dolphins, but I think Saints will probably be a little bit of a tough challenge. Then he plays Falcon and Chargers, so not as easy as Rodgers, but the last 2 games are pretty decent. But I guess it really depends if they're going to play the last game. But I guess regardless, I'm still going to go Mahomes. But after hearing that, I really think it can go either way. I think if Mahomes can keep the turnovers down, keep the record up, and keep up the passing yards, I think that can give him a slight edge. But you know what? Both guys are deserving of this award for this year, for sure. Maybe it'll be co-MVP. That's happened before. Maybe they think, yeah, it was Peyton Manning and some other guy in 2003. Maybe they'll be co-MVPs because they'll just be so close. Who knows?
That's what they'll be saying. Aaron Rodgers and some other guy.
Oh.
I mean, I personally don't think it's going to be Mahomes just because the weapons that Mahomes has compared to Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't have anywhere near. Let's think of it this way: if they switch teams right now, Aaron Rodgers, I think, would be undefeated right now.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting.
Patrick Mahomes, he'd still have a great record, but Aaron Rodgers and Chiefs offense, that would just be disgusting. So I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely the choice for this one.
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night of like when I was trying to make a lineup. I was deciding between Devontae and Kelsey for this one lineup, and I was just like, oh, do you think they're gonna try to take away Kelsey, like the Dolphins, because he's like really, like so good, you know? Like they have Hill, who just absolutely murked the Bucks for like 220 yards or something and 3 touchdowns, and they have other pieces like Hardman and Robinson who can always catch a 70-yard bomb just because they're just fucking Olympic sprinters. It's just like there's everything. They have everything, and Sammy Watkins, who's all right in that offense, but he's like a good offense or a good receiver in any other offense. So yeah.
So that's bold. Not more what AJ said, because I think they'd have the same record if Aaron Rodgers was on the Chiefs, because Mahomes is, I mean, he's put into a great system, but man, he does things that are you just have never seen before. And I don't mean to suck his dick because everyone's sucking his dick, but he's amazing. So
I agree, but I think on the Chiefs side they'd both be like 10-1 ish, but I think on the Packers side is where it would be different. I feel like he wouldn't have the same production that Aaron's having.
yeah, I guess. But if he had the same upbringing in the sense that he got to sat for a few years behind Favre, I think it would have been pretty good. But I don't want to. Again, I don't want to discredit any of these guys because they're both deserving at the moment. So.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our awards, and now we move on to our playoff picture. Who would like to go first? Well, first off, before we do that, how do we want to do this? Because last time we had a little mix-up of how we wanted to do this. So let's clear the air first, and then we'll figure out who's going first.
That was my bad. I totally.
That's okay. So we'll do AFC first if we're all in agreement there.
All right.
Do you want to do? Everyone says their 7th seed, or everyone says their entire thing.
Your entire thing.
Entire thing?
Yeah. So people don't get confused.
All right. Then now that we got that cleared, who wants to go first?
I'll go. I have the everything up right now.
Alrighty.
I feel like 1 will be pretty obvious, but I think 2 and 3 might be a little shocking. So with the 1 seed.
Wait. Go 7 first, because we want to. Because let's start from the worst to the first.
With the 7th seed, I don't want to say barely sneaking in because this is a good record. I have the Miami Dolphins at 10-6, and I want to say I picked this with picking out the games, like picking winners. So it's not like I'm just like picking random record, random team. So I have Miami at 10-6. With the 6th seed, I have Indianapolis at 11-5. At the 5th seed, I have the Cleveland Browns, and I'm probably way higher on them than I should be. But I have them at 13-3.
Oh my!
With the 5th seed?
Yeah.
Oh, because Steelers.
At the 4th seed, I have the Tennessee Titans at 11-5. And at the 3 seed, here's the shocker: I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 13-3. I mean, record's good, but I think 3rd seed is the crazy part. At the 2nd seed, I have Buffalo also at 13-3. I actually predict that Buffalo will win this week and get the tiebreaker. And at the 1 seed, at 15-1. I could see them also going maybe 14-2, losing a game somewhere, but nevertheless, 1 seed, Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. AJ, you want to
go? Yeah, I'll go. All right. So, I like your prediction table, but there's some minor things that I might switch around. So, with the 7th seed, I have the Las Vegas Raiders at 10-6 because the Jets almost beat them and they're going to be the Super Bowl champions. So the Jets can almost beat the Super Bowl champions. They can have that. Then a 6th seed, I actually have Tennessee at 11-5. 5th seed, I have Cleveland as well. 1 game less than you at 12-4. 4th seed, I have Indianapolis also at 12-4. The 3rd seed, now here's the thing. You may think you were bold, Rich, but I have the same thing. I have Pittsburgh 13-3 and Buffalo in the 2nd seed at 13-3. And then number 1, Kansas City at 15-1.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, AJ, I wasn't listening. Did you have Miami or Baltimore as your 7?
I had neither.
Oh shit, who's your 7?
Las Vegas.
Oh, so oh my god. Okay. See, I'm on the same kind of boat where I think a 7-5 team, Baltimore, will overtake Miami just because Miami's schedule is like it's actually kind of brutal. Um, Baltimore, on the other hand, is a fucking cakewalk. If they can beat the Browns here, after that, the 3 games are like Cincy, Giants. I forget the other team. Someone really bad. So I'm gonna say Baltimore is my 7, and I think they get to 11-5. I'm not sure how these tie breaks are going to work with the like teams tying like 11-5 because I also think the Titans will be 11-5. So those are my 7-6. I think the Colts are going to be 12-4. So they're my 5th. Or no, sorry. Browns have to be 5th because they're going to lose the tiebreak to Steelers. So Browns are 5th seed. Colts are 4th seed at 12-4. And I think Buffalo's going to be 13-3. I do think they beat Steelers, but I don't think Steelers lose again after that. So I have Buffalo 3rd seed, 13-3. Steelers 14-2 at the 2 seed, and then Kansas City 15-1 at the 1 seed.
All right, wow. That's pretty wild.
Pretty insane records, to be honest. If the 7th seed is 11-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I was reading through mine and wrote down the records. I was like, bro, why are all these teams double-digit wins?
Yeah, I mean, but just like look at them. I guess the only ones that like I think even Baltimore can get there if they just win out, beat the Browns, and then win out. They're 11-5. Browns just need 2 wins. Like every record is so good. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember if Rich, you had Baltimore in yours at all, but I had Baltimore not in mine, and I was very, very shocked when I came to that conclusion. But I think Baltimore hasn't been looking the best, so.
I just think their schedule is much better than Raiders and especially Dolphins. Dolphins I hate. It's Chiefs, Patriots, and Buffalo are the 3 hard matchups. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the NFC. Richard, would you like to start it off again?
Yes. With the 7th seed. Now, I had to pull a few strings for this to happen. I think originally I had Minnesota, but I'm just gonna NFC East till I die. I have the 8-8 Washington football team making it to the wild card. With the 6th seed, I have the Seattle Seahawks at 11-5. I think losing to the Giants was killer for them. It was a wake-up call for them, though. I do think they're not going to underestimate anybody, and they'll come out and beat the Jets 100-0. With the 5 seed, I have Tampa Bay at 11-5. At the 4 seed, I have the New York Giants, who are 8-8 with the tiebreaker over Washington. The 3 seed, I have the Rams at 12-4. The 2 seed, now, this one's tough because I'm really between the Green Bay Titans game. I'm not sure how that one's gonna go. But I just feel like Titans gonna be like a nuisance to Green Bay. Just a little thorn in their side, and they're gonna cost them an L there. And I don't have Panthers week 17, losing to the Saints. I'm sorry, guys. So I'll have Green Bay 2nd seed at 12-4, and finally New Orleans 13-3 at the 1 seed. And actually, it's funny that Dan brought it up. Yeah, the NFC is so much crazier than the AFC because like I have 2 8-8 teams here making the playoffs.
Yep, records are tight.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will say our playoff predictions are kind of similar with some teams, but also kind of not. So, my 7th seed, I have the Arizona Cardinals just clinching it at 9-7. Then I have the Seattle Seahawks also dropping off to the 6th seed at a 10-6 as well. I think you had 10-6. Then I got Tampa Bay at 11-5. I have the Giants at 7-9. I will say I just got a little stat for on my phone, and it says no team has ever started an NFL season 1-7 and made the playoffs. The Giants started the season 1-7, and they could make the playoffs. So that's insane, and that's the NFC East. But so the 3rd seed, I have the LA Rams as well at 12-4. And I mean, this could be my biased self kicking in, but I have both New Orleans and Green Bay at 13-3. which would mean Green Bay has the first seed because of the tiebreaker and them beating the Saints.
Yeah. So I actually am gonna be the only one with this pick, but I think San Fran wins out. They got some tough ones. They got Seahawks again. But I think they win out because Jimmy G and Kittle come back week 15. They play Seattle week 17. Or they should come back week 15. We won't know, but I think they'll be back for sure for 17. So I think they win out. I think they got the roster to do it, man. So 9-7 for the 7th seed. And then we got tied with them. The Cardinals at 9-7. I once again, I didn't do the research. I don't know who comes out on top there. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know who's the 6 or 7 if that's how it works out?
It depends. So Arizona has the first win against the Niners this year. If
I'm saying Niners win out so Cardinals lose that one win.
So then it would, I think it'd be Niners. I think they'd have a better division record.
Okay, so Niners, then Cardinals. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with Vikings, man. They have the Tampa and then Saints. I don't think they're going any more than 8-8. So then after that, I have Bucks at 11-5 at the 5th seed, and then 4th seed, Giants, of course, at 8-8. And then we got the Rams coming in at 12-4. And then I also have Packers and Saints being 13-3. I don't think Saints are going to beat the Chiefs, and I do think Panthers beat the Titans. So 13-3. Or sorry, I said Panthers, then Packers beat the Titans. So 13-3. 13-3 goes Packers' way because we beat the Saints.
I like it.
I'm definitely with you on the 7th seed. I think, like as a whole, 49ers have the best chance. I wanted to be a little bold and put Washington in there. But originally, yeah.
I think I'm being bold. They have to win out here.
Oh, actually, I had 49ers as well. Like, doing it, like, non-biasedly. Well, not biasedly. But I'm surprised you didn't have Washington because I told us previously that, like, you don't see, like, an identity with New York. And, like Washington... And I agree with you. Like, their D-line is insane. The secondary is really good as well. It's going to be close for the East.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our playoff prediction. And now we move into the best part of the episodes, as usual, our Week 14 football game predictions. Here we go. Starting off right away with a... you know what we forgot to do? We didn't pick a game to talk about, each of us.
We don't have time. We like 12.
We'll make sure we have that for next week. Yeah. But starting off with the Tennessee Titans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I would say Richie's first, but he's not because I have Jacob's predictions. So give me a second. So for this game, Jacob has his magic number once again returning. Tennessee winning the game 30-12.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with that. The winner of the score, I'll take Tennessee here 27-20.
All right, I'm taking Tennessee and a little more of a beatdown. I'm saying 35-20. I think Mike Lennon is absolutely trash.
Well, three of us have the same Jacksonville score, I will say. I'm taking Tennessee as well. Right in between you guys, so that's very unlucky for me. But I'll take them 33-20. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this one is for Richie.
Minnesota Vikings will be losing to the Buccaneers, who just came off a bye. The Vikings defense is trash, so I will be taking Tampa Bay 38-27.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely think that Tom Brady's off a bye against this absolute trash can of a team that I played Andy Dalton against, and he did well. We're going to have to go with 35-27 Tampa Bay.
27. If Tampa Bay doesn't win this game, I'll be very upset because if the Packers win and Vikings lose, then we take the division. So I'm taking Tampa Bay here, but I'm going to be a lot closer because I'm scared of the Vikings pulling out games in the last second. But I'm taking Tampa Bay 27-24. And then clean sweep across the board for Tampa Bay. Jacob has Tampa Bay as well, 27-20. All right, moving on. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Miami Dolphins. This one's for Dan.
Yeah, so Kansas City is going to win this. I just can't see how when the Dolphins get down, Tua leads a comeback. I just don't see it. So I'm gonna say 28-19.
8-19. All right. I also have Kansas City winning this game, but I don't think they're going to be dominant and score a lot of points. I think they're going to keep it relatively low. I think Kansas City is going to win 21-14. Jacob also having Kansas City. He says 37-27 Kansas City.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say. Then I'll go with 33-23 KC.
Well, I will say this, boys. NA has a chance to dominate this week.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Next game, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Carolina Panthers. Denver put up a fight against KC last week. Melvin Gordon was very dominant. And I don't think Carolina is going to have McCaffrey, but I'm still going to take Carolina just because I like Carolina. I'm going to take them 27-17. Jacob also taking Carolina with almost the same score as me. He's taking them 27-14.
If I picked last year, I probably would have changed my pick, but I think I'm also going to stick with Carolina off the bye. 24 to, let's say 19.
All right.
This one is actually like a really tough one to pick for me because DJ Moore's out. I think Broncos are a really good shot here. They have the much better defense. You know, I'm kind of talking myself into the Broncos here. I was gonna originally pick Panthers, but I'm gonna say Broncos 24-20.
No back-to-back touchdowns for Jeremy Chin this one.
I know. Well, he could do it. He could get there, and then they kick 2 field goals.
Oh, that's true. Actually,
Dan
Vikings still lost, or they won, despite that too. So.
Dan taking the bold prediction on this game. I like that. All right, next up we have the Houston Texans taking on the Chicago Bears. And Jacob has this game going to Houston with a score of 30-14.
It's pretty good. I like the pick. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to take Houston here 28-20.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Houston 26-23. I think both teams are. I like this game.
Well, NA has another chance to take a game. And Houston, I have Houston as well, 20-16. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dream World New York Giants. And this is for Richie, luckily.
I'm biased till I die, dude. Especially after last week. I'm going to take New York here, 27-26.
Okay. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm going to take them 23-20.
I'm trying to not get swept in the board this week because I did not get a single prediction right last week. So I'm trying to pick teams that are going to win, and I'm taking Arizona as well. I mean, otherwise, if I had pick one last week, I would have said the Giants. I will be honest with you, but I didn't get a single one, and NA beat me 2-0. So I need to take something here. And I'm taking Arizona 24-17. And then Jacob, since the beginning, picking his team, New York Giants, for the 5-peat. Oh, wait, he has the exact same score as you, Richie.
I'm I'll say 25 Arizona. 27-25.
Taking the under, huh? All right. And
Yep.
that means Jacob is taking the 27-26. I can't wait when Jacob's here and you guys have the same scores and you can actually debate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Mr. Dan.
Yeah, this one's ugly, for sure. But I think I looked at some of Brandon Allen's stats, and it's not impressive. If he didn't have that 71-yard touchdown to Boyd, he threw the thing like 3 yards, and Boyd ran to the house. If he didn't have that, he would have, I think it was about 80 yards last week on 19 attempts. The week before, he threw it 29 times, had like 140 yards. He's really fucking bad. So I'm gonna have to say somehow Andy Dalton wins this, but it's gonna be low scoring. I'm gonna say 20-16.
Well, you are not alone. I was gonna make a joke and say that Brandon Allen is related to Josh Allen, which means he's gonna dominate this game. But he can still dominate this game and throw a lot of picks to the Dallas defense. But I'm taking Dallas here, 23-14. Jacob, since this is a NFC East game, is going to take the Bengals here, but not by his dominant scores that he had last week. He's actually taking the score that Richie changed to for the Giants game, and he's taking Cincy 27-25.
Good. So NA won't have a chance here. I'm also taking Dallas. I think they're gonna pop off a little bit here. I'm gonna say 34-17.
All right, which means Jacob gets the bold prediction for that one. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas almost lost to the Jets, and if it wasn't for a Henry Ruggs go fast touchdown, they would have lost. So I'm taking Indy here, 28-20. Jacob is also taking Indy as well, and he has a score of 30-26.
I think this is a good bounce back game for the Raiders. But I don't think they're gonna do it. I'm gonna say it's close though. I'm gonna say Las Vegas loses 29-28.
Then Indy 27-24 here. I think it's close though.
Is that what you're putting?
Yeah, 27-24 Indy.
All right. Which means NA has the bold prediction for that one again. Next up, we have the New Jersey Jets taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And they're going to be called New Jersey for however long they stay defeated. So yeah, Jacob has this game, bringing back another magic number of his. Seahawks winning 40-14.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think this is definitely a game where Seattle has to kind of do what the Browns usually do and beat up against bad teams. So I'm going to take Seattle here, 35-14.
Yeah. Man, this one, I don't know how much I want to pick Seattle by is the question. I'm gonna say they try to run the ball a lot here and save Russ and maybe not run up the score as much. I'm gonna say 26-10. Nah, to 14.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm picking this game close because Seattle's defense is not good. Sam Darnold, he kind of had a pretty good game last week. There's a chance, like the slimmest of chances, if my boy Denzel Mims was playing, I might have swayed it to the Jets by like the narrowest bit. But because he's not playing, I'm taking Seattle 30-24. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. And this one's for Richie.
I gave AJ a little heads up this week. I have a bold prediction for this game. I think Packers... Didn't even know what I said yet.
I saw Dan roll his eyes.
Yeah, I know. I think Packers will score more and Detroit will score less than they did the first meeting. The first meeting was 42-21. I think it's going to be 45-20. Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping to be like along the lines of like I will prediction Devontae has like 303 touchdowns or something like that.
He could.
Yeah.
He could actually.
Honestly, like Aaron Jones had the mega game last week. He had like 48 fantasy points in DraftKings. Yeah, Packers just maul. Top two corners out for Detroit. I'm gonna say 38-24.
Yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay is going to dominate this game. I'm just second guessing myself in my head because it's a divisional game, and I mean the Vikings didn't have a good defense when we played them, and we somehow still lost to them. But that was mainly because Dalvin Cook ran all over us, and we all know the Packers' run defense is not non-existent. So, but I mean, Detroit doesn't really have a run game. I mean, Adrian Peterson, he's old. Kerryon Johnson keeps getting injured, and Swift he's good. That's it. So I'm taking Green Bay 33-17. And we got a clean sweep for Green Bay. Jacob's taking them 45-12.
Quick question, guys. Where's Okuda? What happened to Jeff Okuda?
He's not playing this game.
Is he injured?
Yeah.
Has he played any game? Like he's
Yeah, he's apparently been asked.
I mean,
so.
Wow.
He played against the Packers the first time, and like it didn't work very well for him. So,
Look at that.
but I mean, what do you do when you go against Devontae Adams?
True.
Besides, put your whole team on it. But all right, we got a couple games left. I think 5 left. We got Atlanta Falcons taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, the Battle of the Choke Fest. Dan, this is yours.
Julio's out. That means Matt Ryan's going to suffer this game. I'm taking Chargers here. I'm going to say 31-27 Chargers.
This is legit the Battle of the Choke Fest. And I mean, Julio's out, but I think Atlanta can do something. Maybe Calvin Ridley has a big game. So I'm going to take Atlanta 27-14. Jacob, also taking Atlanta. He has them 27-20.
With no urgency from the LA Chargers, they will be able to run the ball every single play this game. And they will beat the Atlanta Falcons 24-21.
All right. Next up, we have the Washington football team taking on the San Fran 49ers. And I believe this is mine. So, this game I think is going to be close. I'm going to take the 49ers here just because I don't think... I mean, 49ers defense is pretty good, but I don't think Washington is going to be able to overcome that. So I'm going to take 49ers 21-18. Jacob, as this being an NFC East team, he's going to not pick against the NFC team. He's taking Washington 30-29.
Wow. Okay. I'm in agreement with him because I'm pretty sure they played last year in a rain fest, and I know that kind of skews the game a little bit because there's a lot of rain, but
It was like 9-3.
yeah, exactly that. So because it was so close last year, and the 49ers were a Super Bowl team last year, I'm gonna take wait, no, what did I say? 49ers. The 49ers were a football team whatever. Give me Washington. Give me Washington 17-14.
Okay. I'm going with 49ers because they have to win out here. I'm saying 30-14. I think they smack around.
30-14.
If I'm picking the Giants, I have to pick Washington because they're basically the same team. So
All right. 3 games left, and I'm sad to say that Jacob has missed a game. I'll message him after. Actually, I'll message him really quick. But
I'll do it. You go. I'll do it.
well, I was gonna message him because you're the first prediction now because he doesn't have the prediction.
Okay.
But
Yeah, go for it.
So this game is New Orleans Saints taking on Philadelphia Eagles, and yeah, this is for Richie.
I think this will be great for Philly fans. Having Hurts play for the first time, I think he'll be okay. But it's going to be New Orleans, even with Taysom Hill. Doesn't matter who's playing. 35-17.
Yep. I think New Orleans is going to win this. Eagles are trash. I'm saying 28-17.
I hate you, Dan.
That's a
I guess I'll take the under on Dan, and I'll take New Orleans 28-16. And then, like I said, we don't have a prediction for Jacob, so we'll move on. 2 games left. We got probably a big game for this one. Pittsburgh Steelers and Buffalo Bills, and this one's for Dan.
Yeah, I'm taking Buffalo here. I think it's going to be a relatively defensive game. Relatively. But I'm going to say 28-24 Buffalo.
Oops, I put that for Richie. Yeah, I'm also taking Buffalo here. Like I said with the playoff picture and awards as well, I lost everything in the Steelers with them losing to Washington. So I'm taking Buffalo 30-20. Jacob has taken Buffalo. He apparently said, this is his message exactly for this game. He said, Bills, oh yeah, I went there. And then he said 40-39.
Oh, wow.
Clean sweep for Buffalo here. Pittsburgh needs to find their running game, like I said before, and it's not going to be this week against a good Bills offense. So I'm going to take the Bills here, 31-24.
Or we're gonna pause before the last game because I just want to realize that Jacob said, "Oh yeah, I went there for this game." Yeah, he had 50-0 for Dallas losing last week. So I just wanted to take a moment to pause and just realize that happened. But all right, going into our final game for the Week 14 football games, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. And I'm taking Cleveland here. Even though Lamar's back and they're starting to get all their players back, I think Cleveland has just been dominant. And I think they're going to go out there and leave nothing else or leave everything on the field. But it's just barely going to be enough. I'm going to say Cleveland wins 29-27. I lost the prediction. Okay. I think this is the first game that me and Jacob picked differently, but he has Baltimore, hopefully, 30-27.
I am so close to talking myself out of this one. I picked Cleveland, but I really think Baltimore can take this one. I think this is a choke spot for Cleveland, big time. But I'm going to take Cleveland here, 27-25. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think Cleveland's gonna. Baker's not throwing 4 or 5 touchdowns this game. That's for sure. Taking Ravens here, 26-23.
Wow. And there you have it. Those are all our predictions. There are only 2 bold predictions in this week's predictions, which is insane because we're literally going against our title for this show. But before we end it off, obviously we got our Super Bowl predictions that we were going to pick. But I forgot to mention our scoreboard from last week. As I said, I'm terrible in my life choices. But so in last place, we have NA with a score of 23. We have in 4th place, finally catching up to somebody, we have Dan at 29. In 3rd place, we have Jacob at 31. Fourth place, we have AJ remaining at 50. And first place, we have Richie with a score of 58.
Cool.
So now, we'll end it off with going with our Super Bowl picks. Who would like to go first?
Okay. I am now going to stay with my exact pick. Taysom's been carrying, dude. He's been keeping it together. Drew's apparently getting really healthy now. I think they lose to the Chiefs still, but I know they're going to be the second seed to the Packers. They just have, in my opinion, a better all-around team than us. They have the better defense than us. They have a better run game. We suck. Our run defense sucks. I'm going to have to go Chiefs-Saints still, and Chiefs do still win it.
I'm this close to taking Buffalo, but I think their playoff inexperience will kind of hinder them a bit because I think that's a huge factor in it. I'm gonna keep it Rams and Titans, and I'm only saying Titans because Chiefs kind of look like they're just like dilly-dallying out there. If that like is understandable. Like they like don't play with any like fire under their butt. They're like, oh yeah, we're better than you. We're just gonna beat you. Like they almost lost to the Bills, or not the Bills, the Broncos. So, I mean, they had full control of that game. They never let it get away from them. But I'm gonna say Rams, Titans, and I'm gonna say Rams win.
Okay. AJ?
Well, I'm going over my playoff prediction that I had before, and I have the AFC Championship game being between the 5th and 6th seed. And for me, that was Tennessee versus Cleveland. And I'm taking Tennessee for the Super Bowl pick. So I'm going to say my Super Bowl is going to be Tennessee versus Green Bay. And I think Green Bay is going to win. That could just be me, but I think it's a good chance because I was trying to match up the NFC picture as well, and I had the 1 through 4 seed all winning their games. I had the Giants smallly coming out against Tampa Bay, but I think Green Bay would win against them in the divisional round, and I think this Rams would beat the Saints, which means the NFC conference championship would be Green Bay versus the Rams. And I think Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers can carve up that defense or carve up good defenses. So I think he can come out on top. So, yeah, I'm taking Green Bay for Super Bowl champions.
All right, I like it.
All right, and there we have it. We are coming close to the end of the season. We are looking to make some changes for our fantastic podcast. We're looking to change up a little bit, maybe have some little extras, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for the off season. But we hope that everyone watching will stick with us throughout this process as we learn to get better at this. And before we end off, actually, I got one more thing. We have our winner. I don't remember his name. Richie remembers the name. But we have our winner for the Kyler Murray jersey. And I'll give Richie the drum roll as he announces it. Richie, off to you.
And the winner of the Kyler Murray jersey giveaway is the GOAT, 1541.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, the greatest of all time. I think we only had 3 people enter, so you had a 33.3% chance of getting it. Better luck next time to everybody else. Thank you, everyone who attempted to enter, and we're gonna reach out to the GOAT right after this podcast and see where we can send it.
Yes, sir. And hopefully, as we continue to grow as a podcast, we can eventually give away more jerseys. But thank you all so much for watching this lovely episode. We are your 3 hosts, and have a great day.
See you later.
Take care.